Welcome to another episode of the Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, I am going to share a preview of the upcoming 5th season of Temptation Island. I'm also going to take a look at some of the reality TV shows coming out over the next couple of months that you'll be hearing me cover on the podcast. First up, though, let's talk Temptation Island. It was recently announced it would be coming back on June the 14th for its 5th season on the USA Network. The episodes are going to be available the following day on Peacock. But for those of you who might be listening, you're like, what is Temptation Island? Well, 4 couples this year features its first ever engaged couple head to the island of Hawaii to put their love to the test. The pressure heats up with 16 single men and women who are ready to mingle and find their true love are awaiting them on the island. Each couple must decide whether or not to commit to its current partner or give in to the temptation of the singles on the island looking for the one. Now, for those of you wondering what similarities to the other shows, it's very much like The Ultimatum. Obviously, on The Ultimatum, somebody's giving them the ultimatum. Do you want to get married? Yes, no, one doesn't, one does. But then they merge to these other couples and they mix and mingle with each other, and then they stay together in this fake marriage for a little while, and then they decide whether or not they want to be with that person or not. It's similar to that in so many different aspects, except for there's a lot more suitors at the table when it comes to Temptation Island. Now, what I'm going to do for you real quick is I'm going to break down the couples, and then I'm also going to talk a little bit about the singles and what I think we could see happening over the course of the entire season of Temptation Island. So for those of you listening to the show on the podcast platforms, thank you so much. Also, if you want to see some of the pictures of the couples and a little bit more about them, I am doing a video version of it showing pictures and stuff like that. But those of you listening, you guys can check out the link in this podcast description. But yeah, here we go. I'm going to start off by just showing you guys what we're working with so far. So we have Vanessa and Roberto from Los Angeles, California. Occupation, Vanessa is a procurement manager and Roberto is a nursing student. Vanessa is 34. Ooh, we got an age gap here. Vanessa is 34. Roberto is 24. They met overseas. There's a 10-year age gap between them. Vanessa is done wasting her time. Obviously, this is where this comes into foray here. This is where the meat and potatoes come into facts here, right? She worries Roberto's not ready to step up to the plate because she is wanting children now. She's 34. He's 24. That age gap is big difference. She thinks going on to the show is going to be the perfect way to test his loyalty and commitment. Roberto, on the other hand, is doing all he can to show her that he is mature and committed for the long haul. While they have moved in together, built their lives around each other, they're hoping their time on the island will allow them to clear the path to pass their conflicts and spend the rest of their lives together. They're a cute little couple. It's definitely interesting here. That age gap is going to be something that is massive, right? You know what I mean? It's going to be massive to figure out what we're going to see because, look, he's a young, good-looking guy, and the singles on there, look, they're probably looking for their true love, but they're also looking to spice things up a little bit. They're also going to cause a little bit of controversy, and we love the drama. Next up, we got Caitlin and Hall. I didn't even know Hall was like, is that a name? Hall and Oates, maybe. All right. They are from Charleston, South Carolina. Caitlin is a fitness studio owner, while Hall is in leather sales. Leather sales. Does he sell leather? I mean, I need some leather pants. That'd be pretty cool. Caitlin and Hall have been dating for 8 years. 8 years. And while Hall put here's our engaged couple. While Hall put a ring on her finger, Caitlin refuses to set a wedding date. She is hesitant because 3 years into the relationship, Hall broke things off because he was feeling terrified of commitment. Since then, they've made major strides along with the engagement. They've purchased a house together. They've made strides, but here we are going on Temptation Island. However, they seem to be in 2 different stages of their lives, and the baggage of their past keeps coming back to haunt them. Hall is ready to settle down and have kids, while Caitlin wants to start a business and acclimate to life in Charleston. On the island, Caitlin and Hall are looking to find clarity on how to move forward. Caitlin hopes to understand where the disconnect lies, while Hall thinks the experience will motivate Caitlin to finalize their commitment and walk down the aisle. This is interesting. Definitely an interesting couple. They are engaged. I don't personally, I don't see how being engaged going on Temptation Island is one of those things that's going to be like, hey, our relationship's fixed now. But hey, to each its own. These two look like, I don't know, Caitlyn looks like she could be a little bit of trouble here. You know what I mean? She looks like she could be a little bit of trouble. So maybe a little bit of a handful. So maybe I think she could spice some things. I don't know. I really feel like these two ain't going to make it. I'm just going to call it now. I'm going to call my shot now. I don't think Caitlyn and Hall make it off this island together. But moving on to Maricel and Christopher from Atlanta, Georgia. She is a hospital interpreter and he is a fitness instructor. We got the age of 24 and for Maricela, and Christopher is 30 years old. Six-year age gap, definitely interesting. Maricela and Christopher have been together for 2 years. Christopher is a sensitive over communicator, while Maricela is a careless free spirit. While they both come from broken homes and have a history of being unfaithful with past partners, Christopher has entered his 30s and is ready for marriage and believes Maricela is the one for him. On the other hand, Maricela is indecisive to the idea of marriage, even though she believes he is her soulmate. She's also tried to move past Christopher's infidelity, but holds on to some of the resentment still. These underlining frustrations have created a standstill in the relationship, and they hope that their time on the island will bring them close together. So wait a minute. She's trying to move past Christopher's infidelity. So did he cheat on her? Like, that's what I'm gathering from this is he cheated on her, right? So if that is the truth, they've only been together for 2 years. And he sits here and claims that he's ready to lock it down. And he's 30, he wants to move on, have this life, kids, all that, all that together. But he cheated on her. I'm very confused. This relationship's not going to work. We got 2 years. That's it. 2 years together, folks. I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see it here. Maricela looks like she's ready to become a social media star after the show's over. I'm ready for it. You know, these two, this one seems to have some sparks going to be flying. I think so far with our first couple, Vanessa and Roberto, they look like a couple. I think these two are going to stay together. I like these two. I think Vanessa's going to crack the whip on Roberto. There's going to be some attraction there from other women, but I think they're going to come back fine. Caitlyn and Hall, they're not going to make it. Maricela and Christopher, I don't think it's looking good either. I think Maricela is going to be paying back Christopher for his infidelity with some time down there with some of those single men down in Hawaii. All right, we have Paris and Great. They have Leonel. I'm very, first off, let me explain something to you guys listening. I'm terrible at names, so I apologize in advance, but their nicknames are Paris and Great because Paris is 23, Great is 25. That just to me is hilarious. She is an influencer and he is an engineer. They first met on social media after Paris DM'd him to get his attention. They have been dating for almost 2 years, but struggled to trust one another after a history of cheating. First off, let me address the elephant in the room here, okay? He's a cheater. If he has not cheated on you, okay, you know what I mean? Like, let's draw the line there. If he has not cheated on you, it's not a once a cheater, always a cheater type of scenario. It's not like that, okay? I'm sorry, it's not. It's just that's not how life works. You know what I mean? If he has said to you, hey, in my past, I have cheated on people, yeah, sure, maybe you want to sleep with one eye open sometimes. But the thing about it is, if you trust your significant other, right? And if they cheat on you, they cheat on you. There's nothing you're going to be able to do to stop them from cheating on you. So if they cheat on you, well, close the door. It's move on with your life. But back to these two. Paris would like to take their relationship to the next level and get engaged soon. It's customary for her Angolan culture to get married young and start a family. Although this is similar to the great Nigerian's culture, he wants to take things a little bit slower and move in together first. Very smart idea. Look, I understand the whole you get married, then you do the baby thing and all that stuff, but highly recommend you move in together first, then you see if that dynamic can work. You don't get married, then move in together. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. They're optimistic that spending time on the island would help align their timelines. I don't know. They're a cute little couple. I definitely think Paris is going to cause a lot of, I think they're both going to cause a lot of ruckus. You know what I mean? They both got good smiles. We're in trouble here. I'm going to be TBD on these two. I think that they could work out. I don't know. They're very young still, 23, 25, such a young age to lock it down for the rest of your lives. So it's going to be interesting, especially with her culture, wanting that lockdown. If maybe she finds somebody on the island that's willing to lock it down, you know what I mean? That's how that dynamic works. All right. So now we're going to go through and meet some of these singles on the show. We have Desiree from Los Angeles. We have Tia from Raleigh, North Carolina. We have, skip somebody, Christian from Ramsey, New Jersey. He's got a weird smile. All right, we've got Tahajik from Dallas, Texas. I love his shirt. What a nice shirt. We've got Nofisa from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's going to be another interesting thing. Some of these people, because hang on, let me go back up to the top here. We have Newark, New Jersey. We got Atlanta, Georgia. We got Charleston, South Carolina, and we got California. So some of the couples that might be living close to each other, they might be in for a whirl of, trouble. Let's see here. We have Majorie from Boca Raton, Florida. A lot of people from Florida. We got Bryce from Las Vegas, Nevada. I like this guy. He's got a good posture about himself, like the little leg tattoos. I like Bryce. All right, Michael from San Diego, California. Kind of reminds me of like he reminds me of Nick a little bit from Love is Blind. Yeah, definitely. No, Nick from The Circle. Let's see here. Sebastian. I don't know about Sebastian. His head looks photoshopped on that body. All right, Abby from Wellington, Florida. All these people from Florida. All these people from Florida. Oh, we got Tammy Lawson from Los Angeles, California. Tammy might cause some problems for our Los Angeles, California couple out here. We got Roberto here. Roberto and we might have some trouble there. You know what I mean? They live in the same state. You never know. It's easy to kind of drift. We got Griffin Grady from Columbus, Ohio, who very much looks like he's from Columbus, Ohio. You have Christian with a K. It's a dude. Definitely interesting way to spell your name. Also from Los Angeles, California. Looks like a failed actor. We got Michaela from Albany, Oregon. That's interesting. Alexis Adams from Dallas, Texas. I love her hair. She's got some great hair. Yeah, she looks like she's going to be a little bit of trouble. Some of these people in these pictures look like they're innocent. They got the smile going on, and we just know that they're ready. This guy right here, Griffin, he's going to cause some trouble on this show. Tammy, no, Abby looks like she's going to be a little bit of a troublemaker. Sebastian, who looks like his head's photoshopped. Michael's definitely going to be trouble. Bryce, he's going to be another one I think is going to be trouble. But folks, I'm telling you guys, if you want to see some pictures, if you're listening to the podcast format of the show, definitely go check these out, because these couples are definitely going to be in for a whirlwind. I'm telling you, when you guys don't understand the dynamics of Temptation Island, it's just the drama is ramped up 1,000%, right? 1,000%. It's going to be great to watch. I'm very, very excited for the return, right? You know what I mean? I'm going to be covering the show right here on Love and Reality Podcast. I'm going to be checking it out each and every week, and I'm going to be giving you guys my personal thoughts on these couples, what happens, what goes down, and everything in between. That being said, what are some of the other shows coming out in the very, very near future? Now, obviously, the Love and Reality Podcast, we kind of look at that love dynamic, but also throw in the fact that some of these people, especially on the Netflix shows, could end up on Perfect Match Season 2. So we're keeping our eye on a lot of different factors here, but we're also going to branch our wings to other streaming platforms and maybe even some reality TV and some other places. But Selling Sunset returns for its 5th season, I think it is. They're coming back May the 19th. There's new agents, new drama. The realtors of the Oppenheimer Group return with sleek penthouse listings, personalities, clashes, and pregnancies. I can confirm that this is an insane season. Can't say much else about it quite yet, but it returns this Friday on Netflix, May the 19th. You're not going to want to miss that. The Ultimatum Queer Love, May 24th. 5 new couples made of women and non-binary people are at a crossroads in their relationship. Folks, you know very well that I'm going to be talking about The Ultimatum on this show. You know very well that I have seen The Ultimatum as well, and I am excited, folks. Oh, you guys aren't ready. I'm telling you, you guys aren't ready. This one is drama-packed and full of great content. I'm telling you, it's going to be definitely interesting. Also, May 25th, on Thursdays, the Kardashians are back. Kris, Kourtney, Kim, Khloe, Kendall, Kylie invite viewers back into their lives as they navigate motherhood, co-parenting, building their own empires. That returns on Hulu on Thursdays. And then, of course, June 7th, The Real Housewives of Orange County is back on Bravo Wednesdays at 9. And then Temptation Island, as I mentioned, USA Network, June 14th. It's also going to be on Wednesdays at 9. 4 couples at a crossroads try to single life to decide if they should stay together. And June 26th, Charity Lawson's journey to find love will continue, where she steps in as the leading woman in The Bachelorette. Yes, you heard that correctly. The Love and Reality podcast is venturing into the Bachelorette world. I'm going to be tuning in each and every week with you guys. I'm excited to chat about The Bachelorette. We're going to dive head first. I haven't watched The Bachelor, Bachelorette in quite some time, but you know what? I was like, you know what? I need to find some other shows throughout this summer as we prepare for other seasons of other shows. The Ultimatum I'll be covering on here, but The Bachelorette, Charity Lawson's journey to find love. We're going to be nose deep into that show. Can't wait for it. Looking forward to it. But if there's anything that you guys want me to cover here on the Love and Reality podcast, please drop me a line over on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at Ricky Valera _. I'm rather enjoying my time here on the Love and Reality show. Like I said, make sure to check out that Temptation Island coming June 14th. My coverage will be here over the next couple of weeks. You can find my coverage of the Ultimatum Queer Love. You can check out some past interviews and future interviews. I'm sitting down with Nick Thompson. That interview should be live here over the next couple of days. I'm very, very excited to chat with him about his time on Love is Blind and some of the things that he's been working on since his time on the show. But thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Love and Reality Podcast. If you can, do me a favor, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, drop that little 5-star rating for me. I would greatly appreciate it. Another thing that you can do for me is if you're listening or watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe, maybe hit a like, drop a comment what you think of the show. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching. We'll talk to you guys next week.